Welcome back to another episode of Southern Scrap Nation's podcast with your host, Daniel Jonas. I'm getting better at it. Today is May 30th, 2024, here in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm here to do a breakdown for UFC 302 in Newark, New Jersey at the Prudential Center, headlined by Dustin Poirier and Islam Makhachev for the lightweight championship, and co-main evented by Sean Strickland and Paulo Costa in a 5-round number one contender fight, I assume. That's what this is for. So we're going to get into all of that. But before we do, remember to like and subscribe to the podcast. You can click that little bell notification. I pretty much put these out for the big numbered cards. And make sure to check out southernscrapnation.com. Get your chance to come and train with me one-on-one as well as the team. We are looking to open up a physical spot. So, not that I already have one, but, expanding group classes so we can make Southern Scrap Academy and actually put all this stuff to good use as far as all the fight IQ and everything. On top of that, we've got some guys fighting this weekend. We have Devin and Matthew from Triumph Fight Academy. They are fighting in Durham tomorrow at Samurai Fighting Championship. I mean, these promotions, They're dialed in. They're ready. Sharp as ever. And I'm excited. Tomorrow, that goes down in Durham. So, 2 fights this weekend for me. I get to watch some of the guys I train, as then that's like work. And then after that, I get to enjoy myself on Saturday and watch some high-level MMA. Now, we're going to get into everything. But like I said... Oh, wait. Hold on. If you're watching this on YouTube... Oh, no. I did the wrong thing. If you're watching this on YouTube... Southern Scrap Nation, Charlotte, North Carolina. Come train. Get one-on-one instructionals, or one-on-one instruction. On top of that, like I said, group classes coming soon. Look at us. That's the team in Jai Hilton, Almeida. Boom. Speaking of people coming to Newark and looking for a W, Jai Hilton. Yeah, so if you guys are already wondering, I'm a little biased on one of my picks. Sorry, not sorry. I mean, the better I get at coaching and the more success the team garners, eventually we'll be getting to that high level. And I don't know if we'll be doing it as many of these because the biases will be crazy. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to go starting in the early prelims with Mitch Raposo versus Andre Lima. It says here that Mitch is making his debut, but full disclosure, he competed on Dana White's Contender Series against I was just looking at this. Jake Hadley and lost by submission. So that already tells me you got this stud of a Brazilian. Andre Lima already has 1 win in the UFC. That's experience in itself. I'm sure that was his debut. I'm about to figure this out. Okay, here we go. He won. Oh, he got the win through DQ. Never mind. Never mind. This is anyone's fight. Nice Vegeta tattoo. As far as you know what? I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna think Mitch might take this fight just based off of he has a fight he wants to get back in, probably the Mitch Hadley fight. On top of that, he needs to prove himself, and this other guy. Let's go ahead and check this DQ. Let's go ahead and check the DQ. Do this. Oh, this is the guy that bit the other guy. Oh, yeah. This is the guy that bit Igor Severin. Oh, fuck this guy. Let's go, Mitch Raposo. Yeah. I don't want to cheat. Fucking cheater. Enough of this fight. I'm not even... Mitch Raposo, go in there and take care of business. All right, next is going to be Aline Perez versus Jocelyn Edwards. One's on the rise. One's coming off of a loss. 151, damn. Panama versus Argentina. Her last fight, she lost to... a unanimous decision. Jocelyn, she's long. She's big for the weight class. She was on a 2-fight win streak before that, or three-fight win streak before that. She lost to Jessica Rose Clark. I'm pretty sure she's not the one that got spinning back fist. That's someone else. 3-fight win streak before. That's not bad. But win 1, lose 2, win 3, lose 1. This is probably Aline Perez's time. She's on the hype train. I'm not happy with any of the girls that do the twerking and stuff. It's all cringeworthy. She's on a 2-fight win streak. She's probably going to keep the momentum going. She's beaten Yvette and Evan Smith. I'll say she continues her win streak, but just cringe. Cringe all around. Not a big fan. Not a big fan of any of that stuff. You know, you want to be a professional, and I don't want to get on a whole tangent about this stuff, but if you want to be a professional athlete, I understand it's easy money, but as far as women and men concerned, this whole OnlyFans things makes men weak and look weak to women, and so not good for men. Also, why are you paying money for essentially something that's free? Also, not a great thing either. I don't think that's good, but you're paying for something that's free. It's weak behavior. Not a fan. And then on the other side of it, you're a professional fighter. You might have kids, whatever. Why are you going to do the OF stuff? Like, just be a better person. And this is martial arts. So for me, it's about discipline. It's about having self-respect for yourself. It's about I understand the whole self-confidence, whatever. But and even the men that are on the OF stuff, it's like, well, it's exclusive content and and I get paid, you get paid more. It's like, yeah, but there's an insinuation to it. So when you see that, it's a tarnished reputation, regardless if it's not even anything sexual. Start a Patreon or something. I don't know. Start your own website. You have enough money. Start a website with a paywall. Nothing wrong with that. But then when you give into that social depravity, it's all cringe, and it doesn't, whatever. Anyway, going on to Mickey Gall versus Basil Hafez. Listen, I know the guy. He fought Jack Della Maddalena to a very close decision. So to me, that speaks to his level. Mickey Gall, he's young in his career, and he's trying to make it happen, but he doesn't get the easiest matchups. And even if he doesn't get the easiest matchups, it's when he goes against the guys that are in that top 15, he really struggles. And we saw him a lot in his last fight. Not the most impressive, right? I mean, folded. Basil, on the other hand, he's the hammer. And if Mickey Gall has a hard time with someone who imposes their will, this is the wrong guy. I mean, he went to a close split decision with another guy who's a hammer. And at that highest level, I mean, we're talking about a guy who took a broken arm from a Gilbert Burns kick to only go, and I mean, survived on the ground. And, we know Jack Della's skills and capability. And this guy took him to a decision where it's like, he could have won. So it's understandable that he's the favorite. So there's no point in being like, oh, this isn't. I like to break it down. My underdog pick, not the underdog pick. Mickey's got great jiu-jitsu, but at this level, it's like, unless you are completely not even training jiu-jitsu, I mean, everyone knows how to defend. Everyone knows how to get back to their feet. It's not the skill. It's not like the skill discrepancy that it used to be. This guy's also a wrestler, so as far as fights go, pretty good fight to pick for, or pretty good fight to secure for Basil. Oh, excuse me. Then we got Phil Rowe versus Jake Matthews. Phil Rowe coming off of he's coming off of a loss, but he also lost to Craig Jones. He lost to Neil Magny. KO'd Nico Price. KO'd Witt. Man, he was on a little bit of a run there. A little 4-fight win streak. No, 3 fights, sorry. But once again, split decision to Neil. Neil will do that. Jake Matthews, on the other hand, I've been thoroughly impressed with Jake Matthews. I know his last fight, he got out, what's the word? He got shut out by Morales, but Morales, man, he's definitely a talented prospect coming up. But I think this is a good fight just in general. Ooh, excuse me. Win 1, win 2. Lose 1. Or win 1. Win 1, lose 1, win 1. Lose 1. Win 1. Okay, there we go. Jake Matthews by his modus operandi, his MO. Win 1, lose 1, win 1, lose 1. He's on the win 1. So I'm going to go Jake Matthews. I'm sure this is probably a toss-up. But, yeah. I like it. I like it for him. Next, we have a good lightweight bout between Joe Solecki and Grant Dawson, both suffering pretty bad losses in their last fight. Definitely looking to get back on the horse in that case. Grant Dawson's minus 455. I see Grant Dawson as a good MMA fighter. The issue in this fight, though, that I will say Joe is probably going to be my underdog on, at least on. Ooh, that's a toss up. I'm going to say Joe's my underdog in the prelims for the case of this. Grant Dawson, great MMA fighter on all fronts, right? Striking, wrestling, submission, grappling. B tier. Like, overall B. Like, not. He doesn't have one area where he's weaker or stronger. Great. However, when he fights someone who's got a little bit of an X factor in somewhere, the Bobby Green fight, obviously he lost very quickly. The Madsen fight, this is the biggest fight for him, was the Ismagulov fight, and the win there. But everyone else, his notable wins, have kind of been older guys in their career. Santos, Madsen, until this the Green fight. And he took some time off, which is great. But the X factor that I see with Joe, and have trained with Joe in the past, man, his grappling is very impressive. So for me, if Grant wants to take this to the ground, which I would say is imperative in this fight, would be to start to keep it standing and keep it in a way where um, keeping Joe away from his A game, which would be jiu-jitsu. Not the wrestling, but the jiu-jitsu aspect. But we'll see how apprehensive Joe is with the grappling on the bottom, especially with his last loss to slam armbar. But his ability to take the back is enough for me to go, maybe he out scrambles Grant Dawson in this. And not necessarily tries anything on the ground, but anytime Grant level changes and tries to engage in some sort of grappling exchange, Joe just outworks him there. Maybe takes him to a position where he's just better, like the back, rather than hopefully not just trying to do something, trying to get that armbar off the bottom. But Joe comes from one of where all the pros go in this area, that Gym-O's, Gym-O. And Grant Dawson comes from Factory X. So these are both high-level MMA gyms, specifically geared towards MMA. I just think Joe's X factor on the ground, which I hope he doesn't lose the confidence in from his last fight, is his path to victory in this fight. And I believe in him that he's not going to be apprehensive in that way. And I think the out-scrambling will either give him a relatively split decision, or we're getting the submission that we've been waiting for. So I'm going to go Joe Solecki on that. But, however, Grant Dawson can make it a 3-round, stay on the feet, keep it away kind of fight. Then we got Jai Hilton. Okay, I thought this was on the main card. I guess it's not. But we got Jai Hilton versus Alexander Romanov. Jai Hilton Almeida coming off of a pretty bad knockout loss against Curtis Blades. I like this fight because Alexander Romanov is a wrestler. So if Jai Hilton wants to, I would think, let him kind of do his thing. My only issue with the Jai Hilton fight is that Jai Hilton's clearly a light heavyweight. I would like to see him go back to light heavyweight. Light heavyweight has no grapplers. And on top of that, Alex Pereira being the champion, it's like, that's a match made in heaven. He could just throw a huge kick and then close the distance and take him down. He's a guy that doesn't play on the feet. He doesn't even give it a chance. So going back down to light heavyweight would be his best chance at trying to get to that top 5, or not to that top 3 eventually, number 1 contender and then championship fight. If he stays at heavyweight, he's going to have to fight Curtis Blades again. He did have some success with Curtis Blades, but the read that Curtis got, it's not that Curtis doesn't knock people out, but Curtis hit him with the Derek Lewis. If now it's like Jai Hilton's becoming the Curtis Blades of the heavyweight division, and everyone hates his performance against Derek Lewis for the reason, and his last Curtis Blades fight till he got knocked out, for the reason why you get on top of these big guys and you may be more technical there, but they're so much stronger and bigger that you'll end up just trying to wet blanket them for the couple rounds. Yeah, he wins, that's fine, but you're never going to win the fans, and you're never going to get Dana's approval. He did great at Charlotte. Immediately went in there, choked out Jairzinho Roger's strike. But if I'm Jai Hilton, I'm either using the speed of my strikes in this fight, and not even, kind of shocking Alexander's system as far as, I thought he was going to shoot on me the whole time and stand striking with him. Force Alexander Romanov to grapple with you. I think that would be his best option. was it would be force him to grapple and then try to reverse position and take him down that way instead of just spamming takedowns. Because at this point, everyone knows you want to just lay on top of him. So instead, take the Khabib approach they love so much. I know I've spoken to their team. They love. I mean, I compared him to like the heavyweight Khabib. Like he gets on top and massive ground and pound submission. I mean, that's the way you fight. It's the most effective way. Instead of using jiu-jitsu as far as like a Charles Oliveira where you clinch up and then pull guard. I think he needs to trust his defense and trust his striking. And then once he does, then you can have this like hybrid version of a Khabib and a Charles Oliveira, an Islam and Charles, where you have confidence in your standing. Not necessarily confidence in like you can take a hit and fall down, but confidence in your standing that you're not reaching for these takedowns. And then once you do, and you've completely, frozen your opponent, and that's an easier way to get the takedowns and start to work towards the top. And I think he had more of that success at light heavyweight. He could stand at light heavyweight. But at heavyweight, you're going to have to lean into the speed, but not just in the takedowns, but the strikes. I know he's going to do the same thing. I just know he's going to do the same thing. I'm going to go with Jai Hilton, obviously. I mean, he's still favorite. I mean, he's a massive guy. But I just hope it doesn't backfire again. And I hope the team's not looking at it like, that was a fluke. Because it wasn't. It's not a fluke. It's like, we have your tape. We know what you do. But Jai Hilton by submission. All right. And then next is going to be Cesar Almeida versus Roman Kopylov. I mean, Cesar Almeida is Alex was a middleweight fighter. But this guy's like, Alex left and Cesar's like, excuse me? You guys wanted a Brazilian that fought in glory? I'm your guy. And he kind of fights the similar way. He goes to the body, he goes to the head with his jab. And just very educated striking. You kind of have to be. Let's see. Let me pull that guy up again so y'all can see. The only reason why I take the screen away when I type in names and stuff is I don't want you guys to see how bad I am at spelling. That and there's ads, so I'll save you the pharmaceutical ads. Tezspire for asthma. All right, here we go. This guy, when you watch him, speaking of, there you go. There's the boy. There's that. Wait, is that Alex Bejeda? Yeah, that's Alex Bejeda. Yeah, I mean, he did a good job against him, but I'm pretty sure Alex won this fight. Damn, Alex looks so small. This guy's like a middleweight. Alex looks like he's sucked down to middleweight. Because you look at him now, I mean, he's not. I mean, these are great highlights, but yeah, it's a decision with Alex Bejeda. Oh, he beat him. Oh, I didn't even know that. Well, look at that. Yeah, I mean, this guy's good. He fought him again? How do I not know this? Wait, he fought him again? Wait, so Izzy's not even his, like, rival. Izzy's not even Alex's rival. This guy's more Alex's rival. I mean, if I'm this guy, I am walking through everyone I fight and just going, hey, man, I got a guy that I've beaten before, and I need to get that shit back, especially now. He's 5-0, fast-tracked. I like it, man. Especially against Kopylov. Kopylov loves the striking. He doesn't. His last loss against Anthony Hernandez was kind of. I thought Kopylov was the guy, but it seems like you can kind of dog him out which Anthony Hernandez did. Kopylov threw all the strikes. But Kopylov, he concedes the back foot. So a guy like Cesar Almeida is going to walk it down. Clearly, he walked Alex Pereira down. This guy walked Alex Pereira down. So if this guy walked Alex Pereira down, he's going to walk Roman Kopylov down. And Kopylov allows that to happen. The strength of Kopylov would be the fact that he's a combat sambo world champion. And he needs to take advantage of that. Regardless of the loss that he had to Hernandez, he's got better submissions than this guy. He just does all of his work on the feet. That being said, man, if you decisively beat Alex Pereira like that, you're okay in my books. You're okay in my books. Did this fight happen? Whatever. Do they have a UFC fight of his? Let's see. Here you go. This guy took him down. Reverse. I'm not saying he's got good. He's competent on the ground. He understands. He's got good ground and pound too. I'm going Cesar Almeida. Let's go. Okay. I love anything that's like iron sharpens iron. So in my, like, if I see a guy who's beaten, and I mean, I would love for Izzy to go up to light heavyweight and try to get that fight with Alex Pereira and, finally put a stamp on that whole fight trilogy, and especially in MMA. I don't think Izzy's ever going to do that. This is one of those fights where I think Cesar Almeida coming in is going to only make Alex Pereira better for as long as he can be. He is getting older. But it probably will light a fire under him, just like it's probably lit a fire under Almeida. He's got a guy he's beaten before in kickboxing, but same, but different, All right, so next is Randy Brown versus Elias Zaleski dos Santos. Favorite. I'm also a little bit biased towards Randy Brown, but it doesn't matter because he's favorite, so it's not really biased. I think Randy Brown takes this fight. The X factors of Randy as well as his activity. Elias did fight recently, and he went to a draw with that dude, the Rakhmedov. He's the scary guy. He went to a draw, which is impressive in itself. He didn't get the win, but look at this. 2023, 2021. He's the last guy to beat Saint-Denis, but that was welterweight. It's not an easy fight, but I think his lack of activity is what's gonna give him problems. Whereas Randy Brown's last fight was in 2024. He fought literally in February. And his only last loss was to Della. Once again, not an easy guy to beat. But everybody else, win. 3 wins in a row. 2 wins in a row. Cap it off with another 3. Then we're back in that title contender, not title, but like top 10 or top 10 division. I've also only heard good things. He trains with Troy, and if you go follow Randy Brown on socials and on YouTube, and you'll see he's putting that work in. Obviously, I'm sure Alessios is, but it's the age. How old is? He's an old guy. Not old, but old guy. How do you not put their age? Like, that's a very important thing. No, age is just a number. Shut up, UFC. I don't know. I guess I can look it up. Make me do extra work. Hate this. He's 37. I mean, and he's a capoeira fighter at 37. First thing that goes explosiveness and speed. Randy Brown has that in spades right now. He's in his prime. It's gonna be hard to beat. Randy Brown for the KO. And then you have Alex Morono versus Nico Price. Why this is on the main event? I get it. It's a crazy fight. This is fight of the night for sure. Probably, most likely, this is probably fight of the night. Alex Morono's last fight was a win. He lost to Buckley. See, this is the fight that it makes me think of. This fight. Means versus Morono. Like, I'm not saying Nico Price is like Means, but it gives me that kind of vibe. Like, I feel like Morono doesn't back down. He goes straight forward. Nico Price is wild, but he's not the most technical. I mean, his last loss was to Robbie Lawler. I'm going Morono just based off of the technicality fundamentals that Alex Morono has. Fundamentals win fights, in my opinion, and Nico Price doesn't have that. And it's just the more the fight game evolves, the less you can get away with like the dumb shit he does. I'm gonna just go Alex Morono by either KO, like TKO, or TKO. I'm gonna go. I mean, you can either do decision. I mean, you can put decision on any fight, but I'm gonna go Alex Morono via TKO. Finish. Then you have Kevin Holland versus Michael Oleksiejczuk. Good fight. I'm surprised Kevin Holland's the favorite. Well, actually, I'm not surprised Kevin Holland's the favorite. Well, actually, I kind of am after his last fight against MVP. And all credit to Troy Green, the Ghost Green, on this one, because I was asking him. I was like, I mean, you see this fight. I could see Kevin Holland winning. I can also see Michael Oleksiejczuk winning. But what makes him think that Kevin Holland wins? And he makes a really good point. If you do not play to Kevin Holland's game, he kind of just gives up. He'll make it entertaining, but if you don't brawl with him, he just doesn't then engage and doesn't really take risks, and that's about it. Whereas Michael Oleksiejczuk's not going to play his game. Michael Oleksiejczuk's going to walk forward. He's going to try to find that right hand, and he's not going to be deterred by anything that Kevin Holland does. The difference between him and the MVP fight is I think Michael's going to actually try to get the finish, where Kevin Holland, or where MVP was content on staying on the outside and just kind of doing what he did. Outclass Kevin. No craziness there. But this guy's definitely going for the finish just to move up in the ranks. So I think we're going to probably get a decision out of him, but I think this is your underdog for the... Yeah, this is going to be probably your underdog for the card. I can... When we get to the main event, we can make arguments, but well, I'll tell you. I'll break it down. But Michael Oleksiejczuk, I think, is going to be your decisive underdog in this main event. Now, we get to the co-main: Paulo Costa versus Sean Strickland. 5 rounds. Now, this is a good fight if it was 3 rounds, in my opinion, for Paulo. The 5 rounds makes it a little bit difficult for me to gauge what this is going to be like. There's a chance that Paulo Costa has big moments, but the 5 rounds makes it, to me, where Sean's going to use that jab, which isn't, I mean, it's very good. I mean, people that don't know, but the 5 rounds are going to lean me towards the Sean Strickland. I think it's going to be a battle of attrition. I don't see Paulo Costa TKOing Sean. And I see Sean just walking forward and then it finally taking its toll on Paulo Costa by like round 4. And I don't know if he's going to get him out of there, but I can see him kind of fading towards the later rounds, and then Sean just rolling that up. So you might have some big moments by Paulo, round 1, round 3, but the longer the fight goes on, which I think it will, because Paulo Costa doesn't have one-punch knockout power. He TKOs everybody, but we've never seen like a one-punch knockout like Sean suffered from Alex Bejeda. So other than that, you have to like technically beat Sean to win. Otherwise, you'll get steamrolled. Jared Cannonier, and that was a split decision. So that's where I go. When was the last time Paul had a 5-round fight? Marvin Vettori. He lost that. Yeah. And if the tough gets going, I can see Sean trying to wrestle Paulo. I'm not saying it's the easiest thing to do, but once again, he's just better than him in different areas. The 5 rounds, I think, gives Sean the edge. So yeah, I think Sean by decision. Not the most exciting, but I think by decision we'll get Sean. I say that, and Paulo's gonna probably starch him, and then 2, it'll be in like the first round. I'm gonna be like, it's gonna be a 5-round fight. We're in for a long night with the Sean Strickland Paulo Costa fight. It's gonna be long, bloody, fun, full of attrition. No, that's about it. No, but I have Sean, and then our main event, we have Islam Makhachev versus Dustin Poirier. Dustin the Diamond coming off of win to Benoit Saint-Denis, who, full disclosure, I bet on him. But Dustin showed me he's a dog, which Dustin's a dog. I 100% think Dustin's a dog. He's a live dog. He always is. But he's not got the wrestling that Islam does, or the grappling credentials that Islam does. Now, there are certain things, if you are a true avid Dustin Poirier fan, that are on your side. 8 fights Paulo Costa's been on. 8 times the champions lost their belt. Apparently, Islam Makhachev has staph infection. I don't know. I'm not his doctor. But everyone's wildly speculating about things that they have no business speculating. Yes, it looks like a thing, but it also could not be a thing. Who knows? We won't know until after the fight, because they're not going to talk about it. So I'm going to just assume that I always assume everyone goes in with some level of injury, but right? These guys are, inshallah, like they put all their faith in Allah, like no matter what they're going through. So what one person might have and what their reaction to staph might be, another person's reaction might not be, right? He's got, what was the other thing? That's about it. As far as, Dustin's obviously feeling confident. Islam doesn't have the boxing level as Dustin. However, Dustin doesn't have the Muay Thai of Islam. And when someone's that good at boxing, and I'm sure Islam's smart enough, I ain't going to do it. So I can see kicks from Islam to then set up the takedowns, and then having Khabib in his corner. Father's plan, I'd probably put him on the back foot and then take him down and choke him out. Now, we've seen my personal issue with anytime I watch Islam fight some of these like power punching guys is we've seen him get knocked out a long time ago. He's obviously not the same fighter, but who was it? Who knocked him out? What's his name? Martins. I mean, this was back in 2015. Obviously, he's not the same fighter. But it is one of those, like, it's happened. So, Dustin, get those hands on him. But it's in the behest of Islam to stay true to the plan, put Dustin on the back foot, wrestle him, take him to the ground, and not even give him a chance. What this fight, to me, mirrors the most, in my opinion, is the Dan Hooker fight. Dan Hooker and Dustin Poirier went to 5 rounds, hard-fought fight. Dustin outworked Dan and outdogged him. But at the same time, Islam, I think, will outdog Dustin and just outgrapple Dustin. And then outwork Dustin. There's levels to this. I mean, he cut through Dan Hooker. Islam did. I'm not saying that that's what happens, but when Islam doesn't want to engage with someone that's that much better at striking, he just smashes them. And so that's what I'm thinking is going to happen. I think he just doesn't even engage in the striking and then just smashes Dustin. Anytime Dustin's been taken down by these Dagestani dudes, he looks like he's a fish out of water. And so I have Islam by either sub or TKO. But when I say sub, probably just rear naked choke. Probably you get the headlines that it's like Dustin getting submitted by Khabib and then like Islam getting submitted by Khabib. Mirrored images together going, he did it just like Khabib did. That kind of stuff. Now for Dustin, I mean, this would be a great win. You knock out Islam, you get retribution for your fight against Khabib. You do it in New York or Newark, at least in America. And then on top of all that, like one of your last fights, you still get the belt. Big story moment. You're talking movie status. I just don't think that happens. And usually these Dagestani champs are the ones to be like, oh, wow, look at all the potential for like movie and legacy status on the other side. And they kind of just like shut them out and you go, why did I even believe the doubt I had about this? Why did I even... And Dustin said it at media days, like, if you don't think I have a chance, then something. It's like, yeah, you're right. I should believe in this guy. He's a dog, but it's like, these guys don't. These Dagestanis, they take all that stuff and they just smush all your dreams. So, going back, let's go ahead and pick them. We got Mitch Raposo. We got Aline Perez. Basil Hafez. Jake Matthews. Joe Selecki. Jai Hilton. Cesar Almeida. Randy Brown. Alex Morono. Michael Olazechuk. Sean Strickland. And Islam Makhachev. So your dogs for me are going to be Michael Olazechuk and Joe Selecki are my dog picks, prelims, and main card. Hope you guys enjoy today's podcast and episode. Once again, UFC 302 this Saturday, June 1st, Prudential Center, Newark, New Jersey, United States, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. And don't forget, sign up today, Southern Scrap Nation. Come build self-confidence, self-discipline, self-awareness, quality training, quality coaching. Like and subscribe to the podcast. Your host, as always, Daniel Jonas. I hope you all have a fantastic day, rest of your week, and enjoy the fights. Peace.